The encounter the night was quiet. The stars were bright and the wind was soft. Ethan, a 24-year-old man, was walking home from his small workshop. He lived in a lonely town near the forest. People called him the Fixer because he could repair anything, drones, radios, even old space junk. He was tired and ready to sleep. But then, something strange happened. Suddenly, a bright blue light appeared in the sky. It moved fast, like a falling star, but it was much bigger and closer. It made a strange sound like metal burning through the air. Boom! The light crashed into the forest nearby. The ground shook a little. Birds flew up from the trees and dogs barked in the distance. Ethan stopped. "What the hell was that?" he said. He ran toward the forest, his heart beating fast. It was dark, but he used his flashlight. After a few minutes of walking, he saw something glowing between the trees. It was a small silver pod. It looked like an egg, half open, with smoke coming from it. The grass around it was burnt. Ethan walked closer, slowly and carefully. Inside the pod, something was moving. Then he saw it. A small creature, no bigger than a cat, was lying inside. Its body was soft and covered in white fur. Its eyes were large, purple, and shining like glass. It had long ears, almost like a rabbit. But its face looked smart, intelligent. The creature was hurt. One of its legs was bleeding and it was shaking in fear. Ethan's heart softened. "Hey, it's okay. I won't hurt you," he said gently. He slowly reached out his hand. The creature looked at him. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, it touched his fingers. Suddenly, Ethan felt something strange in his head. Not pain, but a vision. He saw a tall, beautiful girl with silver hair and glowing eyes. She was crying. Behind her was a bright palace. And then fire, war, a scream. Ethan stepped back. What was that? The creature stared at him. It was not just an animal. It had a soul. It had a connection. Ethan carefully picked it up. "You're not from Earth, but you're not dangerous, are you?" He carried it back to his garage. He placed it on a soft towel and cleaned the wound. The creature didn't resist. It just watched him silently, like it understood what he was doing. While Ethan worked, the lights in the garage flickered. Suddenly, a blue beam of light passed across the window, like a scanner. Ethan froze. He looked outside. In the sky above, a dark triangle-shaped ship was flying slowly. It had no sound, no engines. Just a red blinking light at the bottom. The creature jumped into Ethan's arms and made a small, scared sound. "Shh. Don't worry," he whispered. "They're looking for you, aren't they?" He quickly closed all the windows and turned off the lights. The garage was now dark, except for the soft glow of the creature's body. Then, in his mind, he heard a voice. Not from the air, but inside his head. "Protect her. She is watching. She remembers." Ethan stood still. "What? Who's watching? Who is she?" The creature looked into his eyes and sent another image. The same silver-haired girl. This time, she was holding the small creature in her arms, smiling. She looked like a princess from another world. Ethan understood. You're not just a pet. You're special to her. Outside, the triangle ship stopped right above the house. A round hatch opened under the ship. A red beam of light came down. Slowly, scanning the ground. Ethan held the creature tighter. "I won't let them take you." He didn't know why he felt this way. He didn't know who she was or what this creature really meant. But something inside told him, this matters. This is important. After a few minutes, the ship flew away, disappearing into the clouds. Ethan let out a deep breath. He looked at the small alien creature in his arms. It was now calm, its eyes slowly closing. "You can stay here," he said. "I'll keep you safe." The creature blinked once and rested its head on Ethan's arm. It trusted him. He looked up at the stars and whispered, "Who are you? And who is she?" He didn't know the answers yet, but he had just stepped into something far bigger than he could imagine, and this was only the beginning. The creature was dreaming. Its small body glowed softly in the darkness of Ethan's garage. Its eyes moved behind closed lids, as if it was seeing something far away. A soft hum filled the air around it, not sound, but energy. Ethan didn't sleep. He sat nearby in an old chair, watching the creature. His thoughts were racing. He had seen strange things before: crashed satellites, strange signals, even broken alien tech from old wars. But never this. This was alive, and somehow it had spoken to him. Not with words, but with feelings, visions, memories. Suddenly the creature opened its eyes and stared at him. Its pupils widened, and the glow around it grew brighter. And then Ethan saw her again. But this time, it was different. This was not a dream. This was a message. The garage vanished. Ethan found himself standing in a crystal room. The walls were shining like diamonds. Stars moved outside the windows. He was in space. In the center of the room stood the silver-haired girl. She was beautiful, tall, and glowing with royal power. Her eyes were full of sadness but strong. She looked at Ethan. "If you're seeing this, you have found my soul bond." Her voice was calm, but there was pain behind it. "This creature is not a pet. It is a part of me. A living piece of my spirit, sent away when our world was attacked." The vision showed a planet under fire. Strange ships raining lasers, people running, soldiers falling. "My brother betrayed me. He wanted the throne. He wanted power. I sent her, my bond, away, hidden inside a star pod, hoping someone kind would find her." The girl stepped forward in the vision, now closer to Ethan. "I don't know who you are, human, but if you helped her, then you have a good heart." She raised her hand. "Please, bring her back to me, before he finds you too." Suddenly, the vision shook. The crystal room cracked. A shadow appeared behind the girl, a tall figure. With burning red eyes, the last thing Ethan heard was her voice. "She remembers. She will show you the way." Everything went dark. Ethan gasped and opened his eyes. He was back in the garage. The creature was sitting in front of him, eyes glowing. Softly, "You," Ethan whispered. "You showed me all that. That message. That world." He stood up slowly. "You're her soul bond, her spirit. And she's alive, trapped somewhere." The creature blinked and suddenly jumped down from the table. It walked over to Ethan's tools and touched a small broken drone on the floor. In an instant, the drone turned on. Its screen flickered, then showed a star map. Ethan stared in shock. "You activated this?" The drone zoomed in on a section of space. A small blinking mark appeared, like a destination. The creature looked back at Ethan. "You want me to take you there?" Ethan said, understanding now. To her. He looked up at the ceiling, as if looking beyond it, into space. "But how?" he asked. "I don't have a ship. I'm just a mechanic." The creature moved again. It stepped over to Ethan's old metal locker. It touched the door and the metal bent open like paper. Inside was a piece of alien tech Ethan had found years ago in a crashed pod, broken, useless. Or so he thought. Now it was glowing. "Ethan." "Took it out. No way. I tried fixing this 100 times. It never worked." The creature touched it again. With a loud click, the device came to life. A small hologram of a ship appeared, a hidden jump portal, buried right here on Earth. Ethan's mouth dropped open. "You're showing me a way off this planet?" The creature made a soft sound. It was almost like hope, but just then, Ethan's phone buzzed. He looked. A message flashed on the screen. Unknown signal detected. Location, your garage. Federal authority en route. Ethan's eyes widened. They're tracking you. That ship from last night. It's not done. He grabbed a bag, packed tools, water, and the alien tech. He picked up the creature. All right, little one, he said. We leave now. The creature looked up at him. In that moment, Ethan knew this wasn't just about returning something lost. This was about saving a life, maybe more than one. Maybe a whole world. Sometimes one step changes everything. The desert was cold before sunrise. Ethan's old truck raced through the empty highway. Dust followed behind him like a ghost. The alien creature sat beside him, wrapped in a blanket, its eyes watching. The stars above. Neither of them spoke. They didn't need to. Ethan had made his choice. Last night, he saw the message from the alien princess, a girl lost in space, betrayed by her brother. She had sent her soul bond, this small glowing creature, across the stars, hoping someone good would find it, that someone was him. He was just a mechanic, just a nobody. But now, he was part of something far bigger. Hours earlier, he had packed everything. Tools, food, his old satellite radio, and the glowing alien device the creature had activated, a map pointing towards something ancient. Hidden deep in the desert, the creature had shown him images again, not words, just feelings and visions. A giant stone door buried under Earth's soil. A bright tunnel made of light and wind. A voice saying, "Only the pure of heart may pass." It was a portal, a gate to her world. The truck stopped near a rocky canyon. The sun was rising, painting the sky gold and red. Ethan stepped out and looked around. Nothing but sand, rocks, and silence. The creature jumped down and started walking toward a tall cliff. Ethan followed. After a few minutes, they reached a flat rock wall. The creature touched the stone. A small circle of blue light appeared. Ancient symbols glowing around it. Suddenly, the rock shifted. Dust fell. A hidden door opened slowly with a deep rumble. Ethan stepped back. Whoa! Behind the door, stairs led down into darkness. The creature looked at him. Ethan looked at the sky one last time. Earth. His home, the only place he ever knew. Then he smiled. Let's go meet your princess. The tunnel was old and cold. The walls were made of metal and stone, with glowing blue lines running through them. It felt alive, like the place had been waiting for them. At the end of the tunnel was a large round chamber. In the center stood a tall arch covered in alien writing. The portal. It wasn't active yet. Ethan stepped closer. His heart was pounding. The creature jumped onto the platform and touched a small crystal in the floor. The portal flickered, then began to spin. Light moved around the arch like water. But then, a loud beep from Ethan's backpack. He pulled out his satellite radio. Unknown tech signal locked. Ground team inbound. Do not resist. Damn it, Ethan muttered. They found us. Bright light flashed behind him. Helicopters. Black military. He looked down at the creature. I can stay and fight. Or I can go with you. The creature looked into his eyes. It didn't beg. It didn't speak. But Ethan felt it. Hope. Trust. Choice. He smiled sadly. I never really belonged here anyway. He stepped into the portal. There was no sound. No color. Just wind, light, pressure. Ethan felt like he was flying, falling, spinning, all at once. Then, everything stopped. He opened his eyes. He was standing in a strange new world. The sky was violet. The air was light and sharp. Strange mountains floated in the sky. Trees were silver and rivers glowed softly. Behind him, the portal closed with a flash. He had arrived. The creature looked up at him. Now what? Ethan whispered. Suddenly, the Ground shook. In the distance, he saw a tall black tower burning red at the top. And above it, a symbol in the sky. A warning. She was close, and so was the danger. Some cages are not made of metal. He wasn't ready for the silence. Ethan stepped into the alien city, and it was dead. Buildings stood tall, silver and curved like shells, but broken and empty. Lights blinked weakly. The wind carried dust and the scent of metal. Nothing moved, no people. No sound. It was a ghost world. The small creature, her soul bond, walked ahead, nose to the ground, as if following something unseen. Its glow was dim, almost sad. Ethan looked up. A large black tower stood in the distance. It rose from the center of the city, sharp like a spear, touching the violet sky. Red lights pulsed at the top like a heartbeat. That's where she is, Ethan whispered. They reached the base of the tower just before nightfall. Strange drones floated around the building, scanning, guarding. But when the creature stepped forward, they shut down silently, almost like they remembered her. Ethan placed his hand on the cold black wall. Suddenly, a voice echoed from above. You carry the bond. It was not angry, not kind, just watching. Ethan looked up but saw nothing. The door slid open. He stepped inside. The inside of the tower was warm, quiet and glowing softly from the walls. He walked down long hallways, following a soft sound like someone breathing in sleep. Finally, he entered a large circular room. There she was, floating in the center of the chamber. Inside a glowing energy prison was the princess. Her long silver hair floated around her. Her eyes were closed. Her body looked light, almost weightless, like time had stopped. The creature ran to the edge of the field and let out a small cry. The princess's eyes opened, and she looked straight at Ethan. You made it. Her voice was soft, not weak, just tired. She lowered slowly to the ground as the energy field faded. I wasn't sure anyone would answer. Ethan stepped forward, heart racing. I saw your message, your world, your war. I brought her back. He placed the creature gently at her feet. It jumped into her arms and wrapped around her. She held it tightly, eyes wet. You saved her. You saved a part of me. Ethan looked around. What is this place? Why were you locked in here? The princess stood, tall and graceful. This was once my throne. Now it is my cage. She walked to the center of the room and waved her hand. The floor lit up, showing a map of her planet, once green and full of life. My brother wanted power. The bond between me and this creature is the key to the ancient core of our empire, the true control system. She turned to Ethan. Without her, he cannot activate it. But now that she is back, he will come. A low rumble shook the tower. Ethan looked up. Then we have to leave, now. But the princess shook her head. I can't. I'm still linked to this place. If I leave without unlocking the tower, the Empire's defense will fall forever. Another rumble. This one closer. She placed her hand on Ethan's chest. I need your help. You're not just a messenger now. The bond trusts you, which means so do I. Suddenly, the chamber lights turned red. A sharp alarm echoed through the halls. From the screen above, a new voice appeared, cold and cruel. So this is the human who returned my sister's toy. The princess's face turned pale. He's found us. The screen showed a tall figure in dark armor. His eyes burned red. Ethan stared at the screen. That's your brother? That's the one who wants to control the galaxy, she replied. He's coming here, and he won't come alone. Ethan looked at the princess. She was strong, but still chained to a broken empire. He looked at the small creature who now stood between them, glowing brighter than ever. And he knew this wasn't just about helping her anymore. This was about choosing a side. The tower was shaking. Sirens screamed across the alien city. The sky turned blood red as dark ships appeared from the clouds, flying in formation like hunting birds. The princess turned to Ethan. Her calm eyes now held urgency. "We don't have much time." Ethan didn't need convincing. The creature her soul bond was already in motion, pulling at his sleeve, guiding him toward a side door. It seemed to know the tower's hidden paths better than either of them, but before they could move, the walls cracked. Boom. A section of the ceiling exploded inward. Black armored soldiers dropped in, silent, faceless, deadly. They moved like machines. Their eyes glowed red. The princess raised her hand. A force wave blasted outward, sending the first wave flying. "Keep close to me," she said. Ethan grabbed a metal bar from the wall, ready to fight. Wasn't planning to take the long way anyway. They ran. Through corridors that lit up as they passed, the tower reacting to its true queen. Doors opened just long enough for them to slip through. Behind them, footsteps echoed louder and louder. The creature leapt ahead, landing on a panel. The floor lit up, revealing a hidden elevator platform. Ethan and the princess jumped on. It shot downward, fast, too fast. Ethan held on, wind in his face. "Where are we going?" he shouted. "To where the Empire forgot," she replied. "To where the rebellion was born." The platform stopped in a massive underground hangar. Dusty, dark, and silent. Dozens of old ships stood sleeping in the shadows. Alien ships from a forgotten age, rounded, elegant, beautiful. Ethan looked around in awe. "These are original royal flyers. Half the galaxy hasn't seen one of these in centuries." The princess smiled faintly. "And none have seen them fly until now." Suddenly, voices echoed behind them. Not enemy voices. "Your Highness." From the shadows, a group of rebels stepped forward. Mixed species. Rough clothes, fierce eyes. All bowing. The princess blinked in shock. You're still alive?" A tall female rebel stepped forward. "We've waited. The tower told us you were free." She looked at Ethan. "And you brought the bond?" "And a human." Ethan raised a hand. "Yeah, that's me. Just the delivery guy." The rebel smiled. "Then you're the reason we still have a chance." The rebels rushed to prep a ship. Ethan helped, fixing panels, rerouting energy cells, translating ancient code with the help of the creature. The princess gave commands like a true leader, calm, wise, direct. Outside, the enemy forces were landing. Inside, hope was rising. The hangar doors began to creak open. The first shot came from the sky, a beam of red light slicing through the canyon outside. The brother's voice echoed again, this time across the comms. "You can run, sister, but where? Will you go? Your throne is mine now." The princess stood on the ship ramp, eyes full of fire. "Not if I make a new one." The engines roared to life. The creature sat at the control core, glowing bright, its bond with her fully awakened. Ethan sat beside her. "I have no idea how to fly this thing." "You don't have to," the princess said. "Just hold on." They launched. The ancient royal ship blasted through the hangar doors just as enemy troops swarmed in the sky. More enemy fighters came chasing. Ethan looked behind. There's too many of them. But the rebel ships rose up too. 3, then 6, then a dozen. All old, all alive. A battle began in the sky. Light against darkness. The princess flew like a storm, dancing between blasts, diving, turning. Ethan watched in awe. "You're not just a princess," he said. "You're a warrior." "I had a good teacher," she replied, looking at the creature. Suddenly, a warning beep. A missile locked onto them. Fast, close. The ship shook. "We can't outrun it," Ethan said. The creature looked at both of them and jumped into the energy core. The ship flashed white and disappeared in a blink of light. The missile hit nothing but air. Far away, in the deep forest of another world, the ship crash-landed gently among glowing trees. Smoke rose. Systems blinked. But they were alive. Ethan coughed and laughed. Next time, maybe a smooth landing? The princess helped him up. There might not be a next time if we don't fight back soon. The creature crawled out of the core, tired but smiling. Ethan looked at them both. So what now? The princess stared at the stars. Now we build an army. The trees were glowing. Tall silver trunks reached into a sky painted with green stars. Strange birds flew overhead, their wings humming like music. A small waterfall poured blue light into a quiet pool. Here, the galaxy felt peaceful. But peace was lying, because war was already on its way. Ethan stood at the edge of the cliff, looking down at the rebel camp below. Dozens of fighters, human, alien, and others were preparing, fixing old weapons, repairing ships, training for the fight of their lives. This forest moon was hidden, protected by ancient rebel codes. But not for long. Ethan's hands were dirty. His shirt was torn. His heart beat with both fear and something new. Call on purpose. Behind him, the princess approached. She wore a dark cloak now, royal no longer, just a leader. You've changed, she said softly. I think this place is changing all of us, Ethan replied. She nodded. Then looked up at the sky. My brother will find us soon. Let him, Ethan said. This time, we're ready. In the center of the camp stood a strange structure, half machine, half living crystal. The ancient core, the last heart of her family's empire, inside it, the soul bond creature lay resting. It had fused with the core. Its glow now pulsed in rhythm with the entire planet. Ethan placed a hand on the crystal. Suddenly, a vision filled his mind. He saw the princess, younger, playing with the creature. He saw the empire shining like gold. Then, fire, screams, her brother rising in shadows. But then, something new. He saw himself, standing in armor, holding a beacon. Behind him, ships rose into the sky. He pulled his hand back, breathing hard. What did you see? The princess asked. Something impossible, Ethan said. Me, leading. She smiled faintly. Not impossible anymore. That night, the camp held its breath. The stars above turned red. Enemy ships began appearing. One by one, then by hundreds, the brother had come. Everyone to stations, shouted the rebel commander. Ethan ran to the hangar. His ship was small, but ready. Then the creature appeared, walking slowly, eyes glowing gold. Now it stopped. In front of Ethan. And for the first time, it spoke, not in his head, out loud. You saved me. Now I save you. It floated into the ship's core again, powering it up beyond normal. The ship lifted off, silent, smooth, almost alive. The princess's voice came through the comms. Let's end this. Together. Above the forest moon, the sky exploded into fire. Rebel ships swarmed the enemy. Ethan flew fast, dodging blasts, firing with precision. But then, the brothers' flagship appeared. 10 times the size of the rest. Its cannons began to charge. We can't stop that ship with weapons, said the rebel leader. Ethan looked at his screen. The soul bond was glowing again. Maybe not with weapons, he said, but with something older. The plan was risky. The princess and Ethan would fly straight into the flagship's heart, a suicide mission, but it was the only way. Inside the flagship, they landed hard. Enemy guards rushed them. Ethan fought with everything he had, raw. Fast, untrained, but brave. The princess walked calmly forward. Doors opened for her. She had come home. They reached the throne room. And there he was. Her brother. Tall, cold, wearing the same crown he stole years ago. You brought it back to me, he said, smiling. How kind. You'll never use the bond again, she replied. Watch me. He raised his hand. A dark force pulled the creature from Ethan's arms. It floated, trapped in red energy. The brother laughed. Now the core is mine. But the creature looked at Ethan and then shattered the prison from the inside. A purr shockwave threw the brother back. Ethan caught the creature as it fell, weak but smiling. The princess stepped forward. You lost, brother. Not because I'm stronger, but because he was braver. The flagship began to shake. The soul bond had linked to the enemy's core and was overriding it. Time to go, Ethan shouted. They ran. Ships pulled away as the flagship exploded. One final burst of red and white across the stars. The war was over, for now. Back at the rebel camp, the people cheered. The princess stood among them. No crown, just peace in her eyes. Ethan stood beside her, arm bruised, clothes torn, but alive. You're a hero now, she said. I'm just the guy who brought your pet home, he said, smiling. The creature curled up between them. Not a pet, she whispered. Family. Silence. For the first time in years, the sky was silent. No ships, no sirens, no war. Just wind and peace. The rebel camp stood under the twin suns of the forest moon. Children played where soldiers once trained. Lights were lit, not for defense, but for celebration. And above them, on a high balcony built into the silver cliffs, Ethan stood alone. He looked out at the stars. I came here to return a creature, he said quietly, and found a whole galaxy waiting. Behind him, footsteps echoed. The princess, now dressed in soft white robes, approached. Her crown was gone, her face calm, her power still there, but quieter now, like a flame that chose to warm instead of burn. Beside her walked the soul bond, the small, glowing creature, not a symbol anymore, but a bridge between past and future. She stood next to Ethan. You haven't said much since the battle, she said softly. Ethan smiled faintly. I've been thinking. About Earth? No, he replied. About staying. She turned to him, surprised but hopeful. Later that evening, the rebuilding ceremony began. Thousands stood in a great silver hall lit by floating lanterns. Ships hovered silently above, projecting the stars on the ceiling. The princess stood on the central platform. She raised her hand, and the crowd grew quiet. We lost our home. We lost time. But we did not lose ourselves. She turned to Ethan. Because a stranger, a human, brought us back more than a creature. He brought us hope. The soul bond floated between them, glowing gently. We will not return to the old empire, she continued. We will build a new one. One without crowns. One with unity. We are not royal anymore. We are reborn. The crowd erupted in cheers. And for the first time, Ethan smiled without doubt. Later that night, under a glowing tree, Ethan packed a small bag. The soul bond watched quietly. The princess approached. Leaving? She asked. Ethan looked down at his hands. I don't know. Earth is calling. But so is this. She stepped closer. You don't need to decide today. He looked into her eyes. For a long moment, neither of them said anything. The creature made a soft sound and gently pressed its head against both their hands, touching them together. For a brief second, a soft golden light formed between their palms. Not magic. Not tech. Just connection. Maybe you've already decided, she whispered. In the final scene, we see Ethan walking through the forest at sunrise. The soul bond runs beside him. Ships fly gently above the trees. New buildings rise. He stops at a hilltop, looks back. Smiles. Then keeps walking forward. Not as a visitor, not as a savior, but as someone who belongs. He came to return a creature. He stayed to rebuild a galaxy, not by force, not by destiny, but by choice.